Okay, thank you, Chair and members, for allowing me to present this important piece of legislation. In 2022, Governor Newsom signed SB 357 into law, repealing penal code sections that made it a misdemeanor to loiter for the purpose of prostitution. Since that action, although well-intended to protect people from profiling, harassment, and discrimination based on appearance, there has been negative unintended consequences that has hurt victims of human trafficking and communities all over the state. Cities have witnessed dramatic escalation in visible and aggressive street-level sex work and trafficking activity. The 2022 law has had the unintended consequences of empowering traffickers while stripping police officers of a vital tool that was previously used to remove victims from dangerous environments and offer those services, shelter, and a path to safety. Without the authority to make contact or intervene, patrol officers are left unable to act even when the victims are clearly in distress. This is not only evident in my community, but in each of yours as well. AB 63 will reinstate prohibiting loitering in public places with the intent to commit prostitution and make the crime a misdemeanor. This bill prohibits law enforcement from making arrests solely based on the individual's gender identity. Let me say that again. This bill prohibits law enforcement from making an arrest solely based on the individual's gender identity or sexual orientation. This bill would also require law enforcement prior to making an arrest to document their attempts to offer the individual services. AB 63 restores a critical mechanism for law enforcement to engage with potential victims, protect communities, and hold traffickers accountable. With me today, I have Nate Gergwich, a lieutenant from the Sheriff of Sacramento County Sheriff's Department and head of the Human Trafficking Division, and Jessica Gonzalez, who is a survivor of human trafficking who resides in my district.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Jessica Gonzalez. I am a survivor of human trafficking, and I'm here today not as a victim, but as someone who has overcome and now stands to advocate for others still caught in this devastating cycle. My story begins with a childhood marked by trauma. I score a 9 out of 10 on the Adverse Childhood Experience test. I grew up feeling unloved, unsupported, and exposed to violence, neglect, and instability. By the age of 18, I was homeless on the streets of Las Vegas, carrying everything I owned in 2 plastic tubs. That's when the trafficker found me, offering shelter, food, and what felt like safety. But what followed was a nightmare. I was sent across multiple states, used, abused, and arrested. I was manipulated into believing my worth was only what I could provide. In reality, I was just a girl, desperate to be loved. After one sting operation, I was arrested in Nebraska. A female officer looked at me and said, "You're so young, and you have your whole life ahead of you." I didn't believe her then, but I never forgot those words. I tried to leave that life behind, but tragedy struck again. My sister, the one person who made me feel loved, was murdered. Grief consumed me, and I fell deeper into substance use and despair. I became vulnerable once again, and another man, someone I thought was my boyfriend, used my pain to traffic me once more. It wasn't love, it was control, violence, fear. There were countless nights where I feared for my life, escaping violent buyers, running barefoot through unfamiliar streets, only to return to beatings and blame. And yet, strangely, jail often felt like the safest place I could be. But even in those darkest moments, it wasn't just the jail walls that gave me safety. It was the people I encountered. I was arrested over 10 times, but not every officer saw me just as another charge. Although some did, some looked at me and must have seen the pain behind my eyes. They asked questions, they offered services, they treated me like a human being, not a criminal. Each of those brief moments of compassion planted a seed. Even when I wasn't receptive or ready to leave, even when the chains of trauma still held me tight, those seeds stayed with me. And when I finally escaped for good, it was because someone somewhere had once believed I was worth saving. Today, I'm not just surviving. I'm standing here, using my voice to help others find their way out. That's why this bill matters. It ensures law enforcement enforces law, but also pauses just for a moment to ask questions, offer services, and offer a path forward. This bill turns moments of contact into moments of hope. It gives others like me a real chance at freedom. AB 63 is more than just a policy, it's a second chance. It's the difference between life and death. It's a reminder that survivors are not criminals. They are human beings who have endured the unimaginable. I ask you on behalf of every victim still out there, please don't let this opportunity pass. I am living proof that with the right intervention, escape is possible. Let this bill be the reason someone like me doesn't have to come back and testify because she never fell through the cracks in the first place. Thank you for your time and believing that we are worth saving.
Thank you. And we have about 2 minutes remaining.
Yes, sir. First of all, I'd like to thank the bravery of Jessica and the bravery of Assemblywoman Rodriguez in bringing this issue to light. One of the things we've noticed throughout the state, I work in Sacramento, we have one of the largest blades or strolls in the nation. We have not only seen an explosion in Sacramento, but all throughout the state, be it LA, San Diego, Los Angeles, I already said that, right? San Francisco and San Jose. These are all active places that have seen an explosion in this. The most marginalized victims that we've seen is juveniles. Right now, juvenile homes, which have been meant to keep juveniles safe, have become basically a breeding ground for a recruitment center for more and more victims. The youngest victim we've interviewed was 12 years old, and she started when she was 11 years old. It is becoming a younger and younger demographic of individuals who are targeted to work these blades. The other aspect of this is that we have become a place where out-of-state people will be trafficked into. Sacramento, we've had Iowa, and the reason why she said when she came to this state is because she knew that she could get away with it and there wasn't going to be any consequences. And we ended up sending her back to Iowa, and she returned about a week and a half later. We are seeing an explosion and a problem of unforeseen circumstances. That is because we lost 653.22 of the Penal Code, which was repealed when AB 357 was enacted. I understand that it was an accidental thing that happened, but what we have seen and what we need to act on is the fact that we have now something out of control that is continuing to grow legs, and we don't know how to stop it. We as law enforcement can no longer contact people as they're on the street corner advertising sex. So we've had to become very inventive on how we can actually enforce laws and rescue victims. I ask for your help, as do all the law enforcement agencies across this state.
Thank you very much for your presentation, Assembly Member. Thank you both for your presentation, and thank you very much for your story. I can't imagine that was an easy one to tell, but you being here really does make the difference, and this is how the world starts to change. So thank you for your bravery.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we're going to hear from others in support of the bill. Please come forward at this time and state your name, your organization, and presumably your position of support.
Thank you, Chair and members. I'm Moira Top, here on behalf of San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria, co-sponsor of the measure and strong support.
My name is Michelle Vasquez, anti-trafficking case manager, advocate, survivor myself for the Sacramento Regional Family Justice Center. Sometimes there has to be consequences. I as well have been to jail many of times, and I believe it saved my life as well. Sometimes there has to be consequences for change. I know that from personal experience. Nothing is going to be perfect.
I
like
apologize.
Nate said,
This is only really for
change the
support.
needle, and I
So you support the bill?
Yes, support.
All right. Thank you very much. Next, please.
Dylan Lasowski with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, and also on behalf of San Bernardino County Sheriff Shannon Dicus, the San Bernardino County Police Chiefs and Sheriffs Association, the City of Chino, Chino Police Department Chief Kevin Menson, City of Upland, Upland Police Department Chief Marcela Belanco, City of San Bernardino Police Chief Darren Gibbon as well. Thank you.
Zach Seffler with the League of California Cities in support. Thank you.
Lori Johnson on behalf of the city of Salinas in very strong support.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Justin Fanzel on behalf of the city of Anaheim in support. Thank you.
I'm Brianna Quincy. I'm a family medicine resident physician in Sacramento, and I support this bill.
Jessica Walker with Claspirations Academy. On behalf of us, we are in support as well.